So today what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna do upper extremity range of motion. We're gonna start with elbow flexion. So patient is sitting, forearm in supination, and humerus abducted. Now we're gonna find the bony landmark. That is the lateral epicondyle. So we're gonna do a little flexing to find it over here. Okay, found. You can relax. So we're gonna put the fulcrum of the ionometer. We're gonna put it on the axis right there. So I'm gonna replace it again. So the movable bar, the stationary bar goes parallel to the trunk or the humerus, and then the movable bar goes with the radius. So right here, and you flex all the way to make sure. Boom. Okay. And put it over here. Okay. Okay. And here. Okay. We're gonna take this out. Now we're gonna do the movement. So what you're gonna do? You're just gonna flex all the way up. Okay. Okay. Good. All right. So let's go back again. So let me put this switch. Let me stabilize you and go. Oh, okay. We still have we stabilize the humerus before he did the movement. And we are here in the lateral epicondyle. We're gonna get the fulcrum again. We're gonna put it on the axis. Boom. Yeah, parallel to the trunk. We're gonna move the bar with the forearm, with the radius. And he is 135. So meaning that he's in the norm. So the norm for this one is between 0 degrees to 135 degrees to 150 degrees. All right, for this next part, we're gonna do supination and pronation in the same video. Okay, so yeah, we're good. Now, patient is gonna be sitting, humerus abducted, elbow at 90, and forearm is gonna be in mid position. For the bony landmark, what we're gonna do the third metacarpal, that is right here. So we're gonna get the fulcrum of the ionometer. We're gonna put our stationary bar perpendicular to the floor, and then our movable bar is gonna be parallel to the pencil. Boom. We are here. Okay, that's parallel. We're gonna take this out. We're gonna change so we can keep our axis. Now that I stabilized, right, he moved early, so we're good. So he knew his motion. So now we're gonna put our movable bar again to the perpendicular to the floor, and our movable bar is gonna move. That is gonna be at the same level of the pen. And that looks right. So he is sorry. I got confused a little. So he is 90 degrees. He has 90 degrees on supination. That's a norm. So he is the norm for the supination degrees is from 0 to 80, or between 80 or 90 degrees. Oh, I forgot. So we're gonna do now pronation. So we're gonna go back to the mid position of the forearm. We're gonna humerus is gonna be abducted, elbow at 90, forearm in mid position. Same thing again. We're gonna do stationary bar is gonna be perpendicular to the floor. Then our movable bar is gonna be parallel to the pencil. Okay, and you're gonna be here. Don't move yet, so we can keep the axis. Let me stabilize on over here and go ahead. Oh, boom, good. All right, let's keep this here. Let me change. We're gonna get a ionometer again. Now, gonna put this over here in the axis. Now we're gonna match the pencil. Okay, and bam, we got about 85 degrees. So his norm is 87 degrees. So for the norm for the supination, for the pronation is between 0 to 80 degrees, between 80 and 90 degrees. Boom. So we're gonna do shoulder flexion in this part where we get patient is sitting, a shoulder is abducted, forearm in neutral position. So the bone landmark that we're gonna use is gonna be the humerus of the head. So we're gonna search the acromion process and we're gonna palpate on the scapula and then meet where the scapula and the clavicle meet. And it's right there. Then we're gonna go down a little where the dip is, and that's our humerus head right there. Now we get the fulcrum of the gynometer on the axis. And it's right there. Right there. So the stationary bar is gonna be parallel to the trunk, and then our movable bar is gonna be parallel to the humerus. Now I take this out, I'm gonna change hands, I'm gonna stabilize on the shoulder. So whenever you can, you're gonna flex up, although up, okay? And go ahead, up. All right, now since we're in the back, we cannot get the appropriate measuring here, so we're gonna look and we're gonna move basically under it, in the side of it, right here. Now I'm gonna get my gynometer, put the axis on it, so my axis is parallel, stationary parallel to the trunk, and my movable is parallel to the humerus. And we're gonna go, and that's gonna be 160. So meaning that he's almost at the norm. So meaning that the norm is between 0 and 170 degrees. For this next part, we're gonna do shoulder extension. So for the shoulder extension is gonna be same as the shoulder flexion. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna have patient sitting down, humerus abducted, and then our forearm is gonna be neutral. So we're gonna palpate again the scapula and the clavicle where they meet. Then we're gonna go down to meet the humerus of the head. That's our axis. So our movable bar, same as the shoulder flexion, is gonna be, our stationary bar is gonna be on the parallel to the trunk, and then our movable bar is gonna be parallel to the humerus. Okay, okay, boom, boom. Okay, I'm gonna go here. We're gonna change. Stabilizing always on the shoulder for this one, and go ahead and go back. Okay, but boom. Since in this one it doesn't move like the flexion, we still right over here. I'm gonna get my gynometer, change my hands. We're gonna go and place the fulcrum in the axis. We're gonna move a little here so we can keep this one. So movable stationary bar parallel to the trunk, and then a movable bar parallel to the humerus, and it's gonna be okay, okay, in there, yeah. So for this one, he's about 25 degrees of shoulder extension. That is a little below of the norm, that is 60 degrees. So the norm for shoulder extension is between 0 to 60. So for this next part, we're gonna do shoulder abduction. So patient is sitting down, forearm in supination, humerus abducted. So what the bony landmark is gonna be the posterior side of the acromion process of the scapula. So we're gonna go here, palpate, and then we're gonna go this way, and that's our posterior side of the acromion process on the scapula, right here. Okay, so I'm gonna place my gynometer. It's gonna be apart because it's gonna be laying flat on the person. So it's gonna be parallel to the trunk, and then parallel the stationary bar is gonna be parallel to the trunk, and the movable bar is gonna be parallel to the humerus. Okay, so we got right here. Okay, now I'm gonna put stabilization on it. Now let's do the movement. Okay, boom, boom. Okay, perfect. Now that we have it here, sit on my axis. Okay, so we're gonna put it flat with my axis. Okay, right here. So my movable bar is parallel to the trunk. We're gonna move our stationary bar with the humerus, and it's gonna be 1. Okay, so you can relax. Thank you. Now, for this one is 121 degrees of abduction of the shoulder. So he just below the norm. So the norm here is the 0 degrees to 170 degrees.
So start up?
Yeah, just want to let you know. Just put it down, don't worry.
Oh, I thought you said something.
He already wants to do it, Professor.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So for this next one, we're gonna be doing shoulder abduction. So for this movement, what we're gonna do is gonna be, the patient's gonna be here, and we're gonna go down, okay? So patient is sitting, arm in supination, and then forearm is, well, our starting position is gonna be on the top. So, but I just wanted to show you here. So we're gonna go up like that. Arm is in abduction. Shoulder in abduction. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna find the posterior. Before we do that, we're gonna find the posterior of the crowning process on the scapula. So over here, here, posterior part. So now we're gonna go up. Okay. Now that we go up, we're gonna put our axis, our fulcrum on the axis that is in the posterior. Our movable, our stationary bar is gonna be on the parallel to the trunk, and then our movable bar is gonna be parallel to the humerus. Okay, I already put my fulcrum on the axis. Now I'm gonna stabilize and go down, and down, boom. Okay, stay right there. So boom. Change my fulcrum. I'm gonna stay back since I cannot put it if I get the wrong one. Gonna be parallel. Stay back here for me, and boom. And it's gonna be about 30 degrees for shoulder abduction. So for this next part, what we're gonna do internal and external rotation of the shoulder. So patient is sitting, elbow is at 90, humerus is abducted, and forearm is in mid position. So we're gonna find the olecranon process of the elbow, that is right under here. Or movable and stationary bar is gonna be parallel to the forearm. I'm just gonna keep it open because I don't want to hurt my patient, hurting their skin or pinching them. So I'm gonna put my axis on the fulcrum, make sure here, and I got it. Taking it out, keeping it there. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna put my my stabilization is right here, and then you can go ahead and move. Okay. So parallel. A movable bar is gonna go parallel to the forearm. It's gonna stay like that. Boom. The process right there. Boom. And he is 40 degrees of internal rotation. So he's on the norm, and almost at the norm. The internal rotation is about not about, it's from 0 to 60 degrees. Okay, now we're gonna do shoulder external rotation. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna have the shoulder abducted, elbow at 90, forearm in mid position. We're gonna find the allochronon process of the elbow, that is right here. We're gonna put our movable bar and stationary bar are gonna be parallel to the forearm. And then now I'm gonna ask the patient to move. Okay, go ahead and move. No, the other way, sorry. Right there, okay, perfect. So I'm gonna put the process right here. And then I'm gonna open. Sure, okay. Okay. So look on the process. And he's about 60 degrees. That is almost at the norm. The norm is between 0 to 80 degrees. So for this next part, we're gonna do shoulder horizontal abduction. So we're gonna have our patient sitting. We're gonna have him his humerus abducted to 90, and then our elbow extender, face of the palm is gonna be facing down. Okay, our bony lumbar is gonna be the superior aspect of the acromion process on the shoulder. So we're gonna palpate for that, and that's over here. So our stationary bar is gonna be towards the neck. Sorry if I pinch you right there. And then our movable bar is gonna be parallel to the humerus. Okay, take this out, then I'm gonna change, then let me go and go back. No, sorry, back. Stay right there. Now I'm gonna change my hand so I can get the manometer. Then this is towards the neck. Sorry for pitching you. Put it on the axis. No, sorry. And parallel to the humerus. Can you lift up a little there so I can get it right? Okay, perfect. Okay. So for this one, you can relax. For this one, he's in the norm of 30 degrees. So he's 30 degrees. So for the degrees for the range of motion for the shoulder horizontal abduction is between 0 to 40 degrees. Now, what we're gonna do another movement. We're gonna do the shoulder horizontal abduction. So we're gonna go forward with the movement. So we're gonna have our patient again sitting down, shoulder abducted at 90 degrees, elbow extended, face of the palm, looking down. So again, we're gonna find our superior aspect of the acromion process of the shoulder. So we're gonna find this guy again, right over here. So our fulcrum is gonna be towards the on the axis, and then our stationary bar is gonna be towards the neck, and then our movable bar is gonna be parallel to the humerus. Okay, got it right here. Got it. Bam. Press it here. I'm gonna stabilize for him and go ahead and move. Boom. Good. You can go a little bit more. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now let me stay here. Change my axis. So put this here. The axis, boom, towards the neck. Perfect. And then now we're gonna move with it. And boom. And there. Okay. Boom. So for him, it's gonna be 95 degrees of shoulder horizontal abduction, meaning that he's just a little below the norm, that is 0 to 130 degrees. So for this next part, what we're gonna do, we're gonna be doing wrist flexion. We're gonna do wrist flexion. Sorry, a little bit nervous over here. So what we're gonna do, patient is gonna be sitting down, elbow is gonna be flexed, forearm in mid position, with the ulnar border on the table, and the humerus is gonna be abducted. Okay, So our bony landmark is gonna be the snuff box, that is the radio styloid. And what we're gonna place the stationary bar. We're gonna put it first. We're gonna put the fulcrum on the axis that is on the snuff box radio styloid, and then we're gonna put our stationary bar is gonna be parallel to the radius, and then our movable bar is gonna be parallel to the metacarpal on the second digit. Okay. Right here we got it. Okay. Now the patient is gonna move. We're gonna flex. Go ahead. Boom. We got it. So let's go back. Forgot. So I don't forget. We're gonna stabilize here and go ahead and move. Boom. Okay. Now we're gonna switch hands. We're gonna put this one parallel here in the snuff box. There we go. Here we have it parallel. We're gonna go here to the second one. Boom. And that's gonna be boom. Go ahead and rest. It's gonna be 60 degrees. So that's a little below of the regular range of motion base. So that one is from 0 to 80 degrees is the norm. So for this next part, we're gonna be doing the same positions as wrist flexion. We're gonna do wrist extension. So person is gonna be sitting. Humerus is gonna be abducted, and then our forearm is gonna be in mid position on the table with the ulnar border on the table. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna look for the bony landmark, and it's gonna be on the snuff box, that is the radius styloid, that is right here. Boom. So for this one, the stationary bar is gonna be parallel to the forearm, and then our movable bar is gonna be on the second metacarpal bone. So our fulcrum is gonna be placed on the snuff box on the axis, and then we have the where we want to be. Stationary bar parallel to the forearm. Movable bar is gonna be with the second metacarpal bone. Okay. Take this out. We take this back. Okay. Stabilize. Okay. Go ahead and move. Boom. Okay. We got good extension here. So put this back. Hold it right there. Then again, I'm gonna put my gynometer again. I'm gonna find it there. Boom. Okay. This one parallel to the forearm. I'm gonna move to the second one. Okay. And we have 65 of range of motion on wrist extension. That is almost at the norm for wrist extension. That is between 0 and 70 degrees, the regular range of motion. So for this next part, we're gonna start with ulnar deviation. So we're gonna have our patient sitting down. We're gonna have our forearm is gonna be in pronation, and it's gonna be on the table. And then our wrist is gonna be in neutral position with our digits relaxed, and then the palm is gonna be resting on the table. And then our humerus is gonna be abducted here. Okay, so we're gonna find the bony landmark. That is the dorsum, is in the dorsum side of the wrist. That is at the base of the third metacarpal on the wrist. So third metacarpal, I'm gonna go down. That is the capitate at the bottom of the wrist, and it's gonna be right here, the dip that is there. Okay, so we got there. So our fulcrum of the gynometer is gonna be there in that in the wrist and the base of the wrist of the third metacarpal, if I said that correctly. So movable bar is gonna be parallel to the forearm, and then our movable bar is gonna be parallel to the third metacarpal bone of the third digit. Okay, so it will look like this. Okay, very nice. Okay, so take this out, boom. Let me switch, I'm gonna stabilize here on the forearm. Okay, now let's do this. You're gonna go to your right. Go ahead. Back. Okay, hold it right there. I'm gonna switch. So I'm gonna place back my ionometer on the axis, or fulcrum better, and put it there, parallel to the forearm, and then I'm gonna turn, and then my movable bar is gonna be parallel to the third metacarpal bone of the third digit. So I'm gonna be right here, and then I got the results are 35. That it's a little bit more than the usual. Usually for Uno deviation we have from 0 to 30 degrees. Okay. So relax a little. So for this next part, we're gonna do radial deviation. So we're gonna go the opposite way. So we're gonna be doing basically the same positioning, same axis is gonna be there for the boning mark, and basically it's gonna be almost the same. Okay. So humerus adducted, forearm in pronation, wrist in neutral position, fingers relaxed. Okay, and the palm should be on the table. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna be find the base of the third metacarpal over the capitated bone of the wrist. That is here. That is the dip. Same thing. The stationary bar is gonna be parallel to the forearm, and then the fulcrum is gonna go on the axis, and then our movable bar is gonna be with the third metacarpal bone of the third digit, and it should go like this. Okay, now that we got this set, gonna go back to the ionometer out. Sorry, I'm a little thirsty over here. So I'm gonna stabilize for that. Go over here and go ahead and move. Boom. Okay. If you see that he compensate a little with the elbow movement, so let's go back to the neutral position. Okay. Try not to compensate. Okay. Go ahead and move. Okay. Here we go. Good. So for this one, I'm gonna stay right there. Don't move your position. I'm gonna change my fingers. So my stationary bar is gonna be parallel to the forearm. I'm gonna put it at the dip, fulcrum in the axis, parallel, and then I'm gonna follow the third. Go ahead a little bit more. Okay, here we go. So now his norm is about 20, almost 20 degrees. That is almost the norm. So for radial deviation, he had about 17 degrees on radial deviation. That the norm for radial deviation is about 0 to 20 degrees. It should be the norm. Okay. All right. So for this next part, what we're gonna do, we're gonna be doing the metacarpal phalange flexion. So what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna be or patient is gonna be sitting, elbow flex, 90 degrees, forearm in mid position with the ulnar border over here, wrist in neutral and supported by the table, and fingers relaxed, extended. So the bony landmark is gonna be our metacarpal joint. So it's right here. And what we're gonna do now, we're gonna place our fulcrum on the axis. That is the metacarpal. So we're gonna put it right here. And then our stationary bar is gonna be placed in top of the metacarpal bone. So it's gonna be right here. So we can feel it from here, and it's right here. And then our movable bar is going to the proximal phalanx, that is this one, right here. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna go back, no gyrometer, and we're gonna tell the patient to flex. So I'm gonna, not yet. So I'm gonna hold the wrist and go ahead and flex for me. Okay. So boom. Okay. We got it right here. See. You're gonna put the fulcrum on the axis, and we're gonna bend there, and then he's 75, meaning that he was almost at the full range of motion that is supposed to be from 0 to 90. So for this next part, what we're gonna be doing the proximal interphalangeal flexion. So this joint right here. So what we're gonna do, you're gonna have patient sitting, elbow flex, forearm in pronation, wrist on neutral position. So right now I'm gonna look for the bone mark, that is the PIP joint, that is right here. So I'm gonna place the fulcrum on the axis, right this. So my stable bar is gonna be on the proximal phalanx, and then my movable bar is gonna be on the middle phalanx. Let me switch this up. Mess it up. Okay. So now I'm gonna take this out, hold my this. Okay. So I'm gonna place my hand here for support, and go ahead and So I'm gonna leave this here. Boom. And then now go flex. Okay. Flex. Boom. And now he's 85. I left the goniometer, just as you said, Professor, and he's 85 like we talked. So that was a proximal interphalangeal flexion. Now we're gonna move to the distal interphalangeal flexion. So we're gonna have the patient also sitting down, elbow flex, forearm in pronation, wrist on neutral position, and just the arm relax, and the ulnar on the ulnar border. So what we're gonna try, we're gonna do the landmark is gonna do the DIP joint. That is this one right here. Again, we're gonna leave the gyrometer, so the axis is gonna be right. We're gonna put the fulcrum on the axis. So go like this. Okay. Okay. Let me find it again. Okay. Boom. Got it. So we're gonna leave the gyrometer on. So our stable or stationary bar is gonna stay on the middle phalanx, and our movable bar is gonna be on the distal phalanx. So go ahead and flex for me. Okay. So let's see. You flex a little bit more. Let's go back to that position. Let me hold this for you, and go ahead. Okay. So I'm gonna move the bar right here. Oh, sorry. Oh. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna let go. Stay like that. Boom. Okay. So he's on 55 degrees. So it means that this one is from 0 to 80 degrees. So he's a little bit less than the norm. And that was my project, Professor. I hope that you enjoyed looking at my video, and I hope I get a good grade.